Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel today. We're diving deep into some groundbreaking developments in the world of crypto, and more specifically XRP. There's been a lot of buzz lately, rumors, news, reports, and some jaw-dropping announcements that are making people ask the question, are banks really starting to accept XRP as payment for real estate purchases? Is this finally the moment where crypto transitions from speculative investment to practical everyday use? We're going to unpack all of this, including what Fox News just reported, what Rob Cunningham has been saying, the future of Ripple's role in government infrastructure, and even an old Ripple commercial from 2014 that eerily predicted where we are today. First up, let's talk about the recent buzz purchasing homes with XRP. Yes, you heard that right. Fox News recently reported on real estate transactions being made using cryptocurrencies like XRP, Dogecoin, and Bitcoin. And this isn't some fringe story. It's mainstream now. What used to be a meme, imagine buying a house with Doge, is now reality. Crypto is stepping into the real world, into one of the most traditionally conservative sectors. Real estate, think about that. If you had told someone 5 years ago that XRP would be used to buy homes, they probably would have laughed. But here we are, and while it may not be widespread, yet the fact that it's happening at all is proof of a massive shift underway. The rails are being laid, the infrastructure is being built. What happens next could completely change how we view, use, and store wealth. Now, of course, there are some valid concerns who, in their right mind, would spend all their XRP to buy a home right now when the price still has so much potential. It's like the people who spent thousands of Bitcoin on pizza or early real estate deals. I remember a clip about someone offering 50,000 Bitcoin for a property in Manhattan. Back then, that was just a few $1,000,000 today. That Bitcoin would be worth billions. Do you think they regret it? Probably. But this also raises a big question about timing. When is the right time to use crypto for real-world purchases when crypto becomes so valuable and abundant that spending it isn't a big deal? When taxes and regulations catch up to make it efficient? We're not quite there yet, but we're close. Speaking of timing, Rob Cunningham posted something recently that's got the whole XRP community buzzing. He said, "Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines." Which may sound dramatic, but what follows is worth paying attention to. He laid out a massive list of what's to come. 18 XRP, ETFs, market structure, regulation, stablecoin legislation, Fed now integration, 1,700 NDAs, signed, global adoption on a level playing field, the end of currency manipulation, Ripple's IPO, eventually the sunsetting of the Federal Reserve war de-escalation, currency revaluation in the Middle East, in Asia, restoration of gold and silver as monetary assets, U.S. Treasury integration with the XRP ledger, and even more. Now, not all of these are guaranteed. Some might sound a bit far-fetched, but we're starting to see breadcrumbs, little signs, pieces of the puzzle forming. Let's focus on a few pieces of that puzzle, starting with Ripple's potential IPO. As of now, Ripple has made it clear they don't need to IPO. Brad Garlinghouse recently confirmed that Ripple doesn't need outside money. They're already operating as a successful private company, which gives them flexibility and power. But when the market conditions are just right, maybe 2026, maybe later, they could go public. And that could send shockwaves through the financial world, especially if they've solidified their role in cross-border payments, central bank, digital currency, infrastructure, or US government-backed blockchain systems. Now, here's something that I personally found fascinating. Ripple's old 2014 commercial, most of us missed it when it first came out, but watching it today feels like time travel. Ripple talked about how the world processes $500 billion in the electronic payments, yearly taking trillions of hours and costing billions in fees. They explained how old, disconnected payment networks were due for disruption, and then introduced Ripple as a solution making payments as easy and fast as email. And now in 2025, we're finally seeing that vision unfold. Speaking of banks, let's talk about a practical use case that's starting to emerge: tokenized home equity lines of credit, or HELOCs. Ripple recently partnered with Fubon Bank and Hex Trust to explore this in Hong Kong using a hypothetical CBDC called the EHKD. The idea is that instead of going through weeks of paperwork to tap into your home's equity, you could do it in minutes through a secure blockchain-based system. It's fast, efficient, and transparent. Everything from loan to value ratios to interest accrual would be viewable in real time. From an operational perspective, this drastically reduces manual labor and increases transparency and trust. And the best part, other banks are watching closely. Once Ripple proves the model, expect a domino effect. Banks hate being left behind. Now let's talk numbers. Analyst JD757 made some bold claims recently, predicting a potential breakout for XRP and setting targets up to $3.37 short term, followed by a 53% correction. He even laid out a February 2025 prediction with some very specific timing. Will it play out exactly like that? Who knows, but his technical analysis suggests something big is coming. He's not alone. Many believe XRP is finally ready to break out of a long-term wedge, and if Bitcoin and Ethereum also rally, we could see a full market recovery. With XRP riding that wave, let's entertain the big question. Everyone in the community loves to ask, could XRP ever hit $10,000 per token? Let's talk about the math. If XRP's price were to hit $10,000, what kind of market cap would that require based on circulating supply? With a 50 times multiplier, XRP would need a $10 trillion market cap. With a 100 times multiplier, it's only $5 trillion. And with 200 times, just $2.5 trillion. That may sound insane, but when you consider the total market for global finance, stocks, derivatives, real estate, commodities, we're talking about hundreds of trillions of dollars. 2.5 trillion isn't crazy in that context. The real question is, will XRP capture a meaningful share of that value? If Ripple becomes the backbone for cross-border settlements, CBDCs, and tokenized real-world assets, it's not just possible, it's plausible. So is a 10,000 XRP guaranteed? Absolutely not. But is it impossible also? No, it depends on adoption, regulation, and the speed at which traditional financial institutions embrace blockchain. If we start to see central banks, real estate sectors, and even government agencies building on XRP ledger, we could witness something truly transformative. To wrap things up, this is a moment to stay educated, stay curious, and stay open-minded. A lot is changing, and fast. XRP, Ripple, and blockchain as a whole are reshaping the financial system, one use case at a time. Some of it is speculative, some of it is already real, and the rest, it's unfolding right before our eyes. If you got value from this video, please give it a like and subscribe. We're on the journey to 100,000 subscribers, and your support helps more than, drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you believe XRP will reach $10,000 someday? Would you use your XRP to buy a house? Are banks really ready for this change? I'd love to hear your take. Thanks for hanging out today, and I'll catch you next time. Godspeed, and remember, the best is yet to